nice little tone. You know, actually, I'll throw a little plug out there. That cigar box guitar was built by my friend Darren Dukes from Back Porch Mojo. He built a nice little 4-string for me. So now let's listen to it on the 4-string resonator guitar, and you'll see, really, you know, it's the same exact song, but you're definitely going to hear a difference in not so much of the volume, but of course they do sound louder, but definitely you're going to hear that reverb tone, which really has this kind of nice old-time sound to it.
Yeah, you can really tell the difference.
Yeah, big difference. Yeah, might as well throw another shout out. That's a nice little cigar box guitar. That was built by my friend Jim Mitchell from CigarCityCBGS.com. Really nice sound. It's nice and loud. I mean, it's amazing. It's a little cigar box, but with that resonator, you get some really big tone. You know.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's the one that I was just speaking with you earlier before we started the interview about. That's the one that I saw at the Jam in Florida, and that's a very nice. It has a nice loud tone to it, and the pan, you can really tell the difference with the pan and all that. It makes a really nice sound.
Yeah, you know when it comes down to guitars, I mean that's really what you want. You want an instrument that has a really nice tone. I mean, you know, you don't want it that it's. You know, and that's the real trick about building cigar box guitars. You don't want to just, you know, slap them together and it sounds like a brick with some strings on it. You want it to really have some really nice tones, so people go, man, that's amazing. How do you get all that tone out of that little box? You know. And
what were those? What was the tuning on those 4 strings?
I believe, you know, the 4-string is, you know, that's really good that you asked about that, because we could actually start talking about the tunings a little bit. You know, so I said earlier that, you know, in this old Delta style, they used to use this open tuning, that the guitar was tuned to a chord. And, you know, like when I first started playing, mostly I was playing on 6 strings. This was before I knew about cigar box guitars. And I was playing on 6 strings. So what's interesting about that, like, a lot of times you're playing with a D chord or a G chord. And on like, say, a 6-string guitar, you know, it only really takes 3 notes to make a chord. So what you do is you end up having multiple notes on this guitar. So what I realized, this was the kind of big revelation I had about cigar box guitars, was you can take the tuning from a 6-string guitar, and you can literally kind of almost cut it in half. So you can have a 3-string and a 4-string. And if you put them together, you get the full 6-string. So like on those 4 strings, they were an open G tuning, but basically it's the 4 highest strings of like how you would tune to open G on a 6-string. So it's kind of cool, because if you learn how to play a 3-string cigar box guitar and you learn how to play a 4-string cigar box guitar, both tuned in open G, you could then pick up a 6-string and you'll know how to play it. It works out really well, you know. You know, because I was going to talk a little bit about, you know, because one of the biggest problems with playing cigar box guitars is how many strings. You know, where do you start? You know, and you know, one's great because you could start with a diddly bow and learn like scales and just really simple melody lines. You know, and then you can go into 2. I personally like 3 and 4-string guitars, and I actually like to have frets on my cigar box guitars, just because. You know, I'm used to fretting notes, so it gives me some options that you just can't do if you don't have them. So, you know, what we'll do is what I was going to say is, you know, the difference is, because a lot of people ask me, well, what's the difference? And I kind of look at the 3-string instrument almost like a bass. You can use it for like walking bass lines or for shuffle rhythms. So if we listen to clip number 5, you'll hear a 3-string, and you're going to hear that classic shuffle rhythm that you hear in a lot of blues songs.
I'm gonna get up in the morning, believe I'll dust my broom. I'm gonna get up in the morning, believe I'll dust my broom. Girlfriend, the black man you've been loving, he can get my room.
And that's a three string, right?
Yeah, that's a 3-string. So you can hear that I was, what I mean by a shuffle rhythm is it's usually like you only hold in a couple notes and you're playing those bottom strings. And, a lot of times they'll call these like 2 notes on those bass notes, they call them power chords. And a lot of your rock is played with power chords, And so the 3-string works really good for shuffle rhythms and those power chords. And of course you could still play leads, you could play some slide on the first 2 strings. But it also, where it really shines, I think, is it shines as if you think of like a little bass instrument. And then clip number 6, you'll hear the 3-string, but now I'm doing the walking bass.
The Rock Island Line is a mighty fine road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Rock Island Line is a mighty fine road. If you wanna ride that's fine, and get a ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line.
Yeah, so you can see, so for the 3-string, it just works really, well to keep them simple shuffle rhythms and that walking bass. And because that's like the lower strings on a 6-string guitar, and that's like what you normally do anyway, And then to contrast it a little bit, on clip 7, now we're going to look at 4-string, because see, the 4-string's a little bit different in the sense that it's tuned now to the higher strings on the guitar. And also, the thing about a 4-string is you're already getting into a standard instrument, because if you think about it, there's a lot of instruments that really aren't that popular today as they used to be, that always have 4 strings, like ukuleles, 4-string guitars, 4-string tenor banjos, so there's already a lot of music already performed on these. And the 4-string actually, so if you're interested in playing chords and strumming chords and stuff like that, the 4-string guitar works out really well. And I don't know if you noticed, but like currently out in the nation now, I've been doing a series of lessons on 4-string cigar box guitar. And I'm at the point right now where actually I'm going to do a lesson. I'm going to show all the different chords, how to play all the different chords, and how to do what's called inversions, where you figure out where that same chord is that you're looking for on a different part of the neck. So you have